question before you walk away. It does include this one, does it not? Okay, it's not on the list. It's okay. It's okay. I just want to make sure.
Yep.
All right.
You know, 99% we get right. Still makes 1%. Still like, oops, I missed one thing.
No.
It's just
So it is.
it's time.
Does it feel warm in here to you?
Yes.
I mean, I just know it's an issue for you, and if there's time, I mean, I like it. I mean, 60's good.
Could you make it cooler?
Boy, did you just ask the wrong.
I know. I know you are. Thank you. I asked Natalie to make it colder in here. Natalie, and I know like Natalie, but I'm just pointing her in particular out because she's also very vocal about this, abhors the temperature that I like in here. And she's always so very cold. And so for her to be the one that I asked to make it colder is just all sorts of wrong. But just to clarify again, yeah, it's okay. I have 2 shawls in my office and a blanket if you need it. She's actually in a fleece jacket, in case you can't see. This is hilarious. But no, come here. This is good, right? I have my regular clothes on. I have my white robe on. I have my talit on. This is good to match, right? We're actually in about the same amount of clothing.
How old are you?
40.
Okay, I'm not.
So she knows how to dress for our sanctuary. Take a lesson, take a note from Natalie. But seriously, if anyone is so terribly cold, please let me know. We will get you a shawl or something if you need it. And I kid you not, I have a blanket in my office. So if you do need it, because it's really a health thing. I'm just sort of taking this moment to sort of explain while we all get situated here for our afternoon. It's really a health thing. So we're up here fully garbed. We have hot lights above us. We're standing. Y'all get to sit. And frankly, just the constant talking is exhausts and adds to the heat of the body. So we're naturally warmer, and it's more protective over our physical well-being to keep it cooler in here. Last thing you want is for either of us to faint. So you can ask yourself the question, put on a sweater, have the leaders faint. Put on a sweater. So that's where we are. And we are here back together on our Yom Kippur afternoon service. Hello, everyone at home. Hello, everyone back in our sanctuary. Welcome to those of you that are new in our sanctuary, to those of you that have been here longer than most of us. Our afternoon service will be a mincha service that brings in Torah and Amidah and Haftarah. Today, this is the service that we have, our Haftarah, the reading of Jonah, and we have a special thing for Jonah. And for those of you that are at home, the sound is more important than the visual, so don't worry about the visual so much. When we are concluded with our afternoon service, we're going to move straight into our Neilah. If at any point you need to stand or sit or whatever you need to do, use a facility, please just do so. We're adults, take care of yourself. So we're going to move right into Neilah service at the conclusion of our afternoon service, sort of seamlessly as much as possible. At the conclusion of Neilah, we will offer some water and some trail mix to help us get home. thanks to this sisterhood, but I'll say that again in a little bit. And last reminder, please feel free to bring in food for our High Holy Day food drive. We are accepting donations through Simchat Torah, which is Tuesday the 27th? Yes, Tuesday the Tuesday, I think it's the 27th. So we're collecting food until that day. So please feel free to be generous in giving to those who do not choose to be hungry the way we are choosing today. And with that, we're going to begin our afternoon service with Oseh Shalom.
Oseh Shalom Mivromav, Uyaseh Shalom Aleinu, V'al Kol Yisrael, V'yimaru, Amen. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu v'al Kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu v'al Kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu v'al Kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu v'al Kol Yisrael.
So many of our services start with Baruch Hu and psalms and things to get us in the mood for prayer, but not the afternoon service of Yom Kippur, for we have been in this mood all day. So we move right into our Amidah. Ultimately, the goal of prayer is not to translate a word, but to translate the self. Not to render an ancient vocabulary in modern terminology, but to transform our lives into prayers. If you're comfortable, please rise.
Adonai, sofratai tiftachu fiagi tehilatecha. Adonai, open my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise.
Remember the chesed of those who came before us. A desert tent furled on every side, the home of Abraham and Sarah wide open to welcome travelers from all directions, an open hand to offer bread to strangers in need, an open heart, a bold voice lifted up in defense of others. Nusach chesed alafim, hold fast these memories of chesed, show mercy in 1,000 ways. Weave threads of kindness from generation to generation. And so our sages teach, why call God Magen Avraham, the shield of Abraham? Through this name, we ask God to protect the Abraham within each of us, our spark of generosity and kindness, the impulse to open our circle and widen our horizon of concern. And when we call God Ezrat Sarah, the one who intervened on Sarah's behalf, we seek to awaken within ourselves a spirit of generous activism, to inspire life-sustaining deeds, selfless moments of giving to others, descendants of compassionate ancestors. May we cultivate the instinct to love and serve. Blessed is the open heart. Blessed the open hand.
Zakrenu lekaim, melech hafetz pakayim, v'chotenu b'sefer hachayim, l'mancha Elohim chayim. Melech Oseos, O Moshiach Magin, Baruch Atah Adonai, Magin Avraham, Bezrat Sarah.
Atah Gibor Leolam Adonai. This is on 365. You are the power, feel free to join in. You are the power that never diminishes and never subsides. From you we draw Gevurah, our inner core of strength. Strength to rise at dawn when hungry babies cry. Strength to rise before the aged parent, to bring care and dignity. Strength to give patience to a child whose needs overwhelm us. Strength to hold and heal a spouse in pain, to give love without losing hope. Strength to survive a job that is stressful and unrewarding. Strength to endure months or years without work and purpose. Strength to face cries and strength to surmount everyday hurdles. Strength to keep practicing and exercising, trying mightily in spite of failure. Strength to do what is called for, even when it is hard. Strength to do what is right, especially when others do not. Your power is with us always in our human stamina and resilience, in our determination to persevere, in the discipline to set limits and make choices, in the fortitude to be true to our principles. Blessed is Gevurah, the will to act with courage, the gift of inner strength. Together. And so we hunger for holiness. We long to lift up mundane acts and make them beautiful. Let us reimagine our tables as holy altars where every day we offer up our best through blessings and mindful eating, thoughtful conversations, and care for one another. Let us make marriages that are truly kedushim, holy partnerships of intimacy, faithfulness, and love. Let us sanctify time, preserve and remember Shabbat, and keep the holy days of our people. In a world that can be cruel, let us create holy communities, oases of compassion. The Torah teaches, do not profane my name, that I may be sanctified amidst the people of Israel. We sanctify your name in this world when we bring your spirit into all our deeds. We may take our seats. For those that are wondering, we have done our Amidah in Hebrew every service this High Holy Day season. I think it's important to remind ourselves what we're really saying when we say these words. Oh, just sort of where was the Avot Ve'imahot? That was there. What is the purpose of these prayers if we don't understand them and don't take them to heart? A gift of awe. Come to the woods, for here is rest. There is no repose like that of deep green woods. The clearest way into the universe is through a forest wilderness. The winds will blow their own freshness into you, and the storms their energy, while cares will drop off like autumn leaves. As age comes on, one source of enjoyment after another is closed, but nature's sources never fail. The poetry of earth is never dead. Study nature. Love nature. Stay close to nature. It will never fail you. Nature is the living, visible garment of God. Nature never hurries. Atom by atom, little by little, she achieves her work. That seems to be a stone is a drama. The joy of looking and comprehending is nature's most beautiful gift. Then I behold your heavens, the work of your fingers, the moon and stars that you set in place. Replete is the world with a spiritual radiance, replete with sublime and marvelous secrets. But a small hand held against the eye hides it all. The heavens declare the glory of God. The sky proclaims God's handiwork. What we lack is not a will to believe, but a will to wonder. Rava taught us. Rava, by the way, was from Mishnaic times about 2,000 years ago. And he taught us that when we are led in for judgment in the next world, we will be asked these following questions. Did you conduct your business honestly? Did you set a time to study? Did you leave a legacy for future generations? Did you have hope in your heart? Did you get your priorities straight? Did you enjoy this world? Were you the best you could be? Feel free to join in. As I wish to be forgiven for what I've done wrong, viewed with leniency and understanding, my good intentions acknowledged, even when I fall short, so I commit myself to follow the model of the Holy One, giving others the benefit of the doubt, perceiving their virtues as keenly as I see their flaws, offering them the chance to begin anew, relinquishing the need to punish. Rabbi Shimon taught us, do not regard yourself as worthless. Harachaman, source of mercy, teach me the art of a compassionate gaze. Again, feel free to join in. Show me how to be patient and forgiving, kind and encouraging, loving and understanding, generous in spirit when faced with imperfection. Help me to extend love and compassion to my own imperfect soul. Help me to embrace these truths. I share a lot of all human beings. I am not alone in my failings. Whatever I have done, I am loved and valued by you, worthy of love, capable of goodness. Do not let me slip into self-loathing or despair. As I ask for your remembrance, I commit myself to remember. Self-compassion is not self-indulgence. It is not an excuse for bad behavior or an impediment to my growth. Harsh self-rebuke will not make me more gentle with others. On this holy day, I hold fast to these words of Torah. Be loving to your neighbor as you are to yourself. Zochreinu Adonai Eloheinu bo letova. Uvochtenu vo levacha. V'hoshienu vo lechayim. Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu. Ya'aleh v'ya'avo v'yagia. Our God and God of the generations before us, may a memory of us ascend and come before you. May it be heard and seen by you, winning your favor and reaching your awareness, together with the memory of our ancestors, the memory of your sacred city, Jerusalem, and the memory of your people, the family of Israel. May we be remembered for safety, well-being, and favor, for love and compassion, for life and for peace on this day of remembrance. On 394, Ritze.
Yitzhak Adonai Eloheinu Ve'amcha Yisrael U'tevilatam Amin avodat Israel El karov lechol Torah panel avadecha v'konenu Shavot rochaka Alenu
Modim anachnu lach, for miracles and wonders are with us always, and goodness is woven through our lives. Our sages teach that miracles are astounding acts. They shake us to the core. And wonders? These, they say, are the miracles of which we are unaware. Well hidden in the laws of nature, great wonders reside. The rhythm of our breathing, the rise and fall of tides, the wing beats of a hummingbird, the choreography of bees, the cycles of the heavens, the seasons of the sky, and sunlight on leaves transmuted into energy. How wondrously fixed and predictable. Migration of birds, circulation of blood. How utterly extraordinary is the ordinary. But goodness, is it with us always? Can we feel it even now? Consider this. The eye is narrow in its gaze. For at this very moment, some lives are bathed in miracle. A newborn child in the arms of parents who were past the point of hope. The happiness of improbable love after many years alone. Recovery from surgery. The easing of grief. Food for the hungry. Rain after drought. The first light of peace in a war-darkened land. May I look up from my dark places and be glad. Somewhere, even now, wondrous goodness blossoms forth. Sim Shalom. 406.
Sim Shalom. Sim Shalom. Sim Shalom. Sim Shalom. En vachesed barachamim. En vachesed barachamim. Barachamim. Sim Shalom. Sim Shalom, Tova Aleinu, Al Kol Israel. Aleinu, Al Kol Israel. Ameka, Sim Shalom. Tova ubracha. Sim Shalom. Tova ubracha.
Together. I have spoken the words of tradition, but this silence belongs to me, to whatever is eternal amid ceaseless ebb and flow, to the root of goodness, to being itself, ever present, ever emerging, expressed in the bodies of all living things, to the indwelling presence that powers my own pulse beats, to the giver of life who is with me all my days, I address myself in reverence. Hineni, I set before you this day all that I am and wish to be. Hineni, receiving the offering of my heart. The prayers of our hearts we take now in silent prayer.
Adonai tzuri v'goli. Oh, may the words of my mouth, the meditation of my heart be acceptable before you. O God, my rock and my redeemer. Ose shalom bimromav, Uyase shalom aleinu. Yakol Israel, ve'imru, Amen.
As parents show tenderness to their children, may you show mercy to those who worship you. Like the heavens that tower above the earth, your love is powerful for those who revere you. Liberation is a gift from God, a blessing upon your people. You are the God of all we can perceive, our haven, the God of Yaakov. And you are the God of all that is beyond our perception. The one who has faith in you is fortunate. Sovereign God, show us the way to freedom. Answer us on this day of our calling out to you. Moses prayed to God, as you have been faithful to this people ever since Egypt, please forgive their failings now, in keeping with your boundless love. You are invited to rise. Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu tavo lefanecha tefilatenu. Our God and God of all generations, may our prayers reach your presence. And when we turn to you, do not be indifferent. Adonai, we are arrogant and stubborn, claiming to be blameless and free of sin. In truth, we have stumbled and strayed. We have done wrong. Ay, 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 ay. Hashamnu, Magadnu, Gazalnu, Dibanu, Dofi. Ay, 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 ay. Avinu v'yirshanu, zadnu chamasnu, tapanu sheker. Ay, 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 ay. Yatsnu ra, kizavnu, latsnu maranu, niatsnu saranu, avinu pashanu, zaranu, kishinu oref. Ay, 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 ay. Rashanu, Shidchatnu, Tiavnu, Tainu, Titanu. Ay, 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 ay. Al-Chetchachatzanu lefanecha. The ways we have wronged you, let's do these together, deliberately and by mistake. and the harm we have caused in your world through insincere promises, the ways we have wronged you by judging others unfairly, and the harm we have caused in your world by making light of serious matters, the ways we have wronged you by giving in to our hostile impulses, and the harm we have caused in your world through condensation, the ways we have wronged you through our innermost thoughts, and the harm we have caused in your world through words of our mouths, the ways we have wronged you through lies and deceit, and the harm we have caused in your world by mistreating a friend or neighbor, the ways we have wronged you by hating without cause, and the harm we have caused in your world through hypocrisy. The ways we have wronged you openly and secretly, and the harm we have caused in your world through our thoughtlessness. The ways we have wronged you by profaning your name in public, and the harm we have caused in your word through offensive speech. The ways we have wronged you through gossip and rumor, and the harm we have caused in your world through disrespect to parents and teachers. The ways we have wronged you through narrow-mindedness, and the harm we have caused in your world through dishonesty in business. The ways we have wronged you through sexual immorality, and harm we have caused in your world through consumption of food and drink. The ways we have wronged you by betraying trust, and harm we have caused in your world through impulsive acts of malice. On 424, we have spent this day of Yom Kippur so far saying the ways that we have transgressed. But what a world we would be in if that's all we saw of ourselves. We must also see the good that we do in this world. So for the acts of healing and repair we have done, we continue together. God of our Creator and Guide, let us reflect on the healing acts by which we bring you into our lives, the acts of repair that make you a living presence in our words and deeds, acts of healing we have done by judging others with compassion, and acts of repair we have done through rigorous self-judgment. Acts of healing we have done through kindness to parents and children, and acts of repair we have done through loyalty to spouses, partners, and friends, Acts of healing we have done through self-discipline and self-restraint. And acts of repair we have done by ridding ourselves of destructive behavior. Acts of healing we have done by seeing the holy in the ordinary, and acts of repair that we have done by taking upon ourselves sacred obligation. Acts of healing we have done by seeking forgiveness, and acts of repair we have done by forgiving others. Acts of healing we have done by turning in love towards Zion, and acts of repair we have done by supporting the state of Israel. Acts of healing we have done by receiving life as a blessing and a gift. Acts of repair we have done by expressing gratitude and appreciation. Acts of healing we have done by listening with an open mind to those we love. And acts of repair we have done by making our home shelters of safety and peace. For all these bring nearer the day when you shall be one, and your name shall be one. We join generations of Jews who have sought your compassion. Shekhinah, Shekhinah Yemenu, a nurturing presence. Mikor Bintanenu, source of insight and understanding. Sur Chayenu, unweathered stone, steadying strength beneath us. Yadid Nafshotenu, intimate soul, companion. Chonenu v'anenu, we open to you in self-examination. Grace us and answer us. Be present with us and inspire us. Accompany us. Assure us we are not alone. Ki ein banu ma'asim. We approach you empty-handed, our accomplishments set aside. Rather than defend ourselves, we confess. We're broken-hearted at our failures, and our world remains unrepaired. Embrace us generously as we expose our errors. Be our example. Hold us with abundant love. Turn us to face the world with justice and compassion. V'hoshienu, save us. We join our strength to yours as we offer ourselves fully to the life ahead.
Avinu Malkeinu, Avinu Malkeinu, Avinu Malkeinu, Chanenu Vanenu, Imanu Masim, Asemanu, Tudaka Vachesed, Asemanu Tudaka Vachesed, Hoshienu, Asemanu Tudaka Vachesed, Asemanu Tudaka Vachesed, Hoshienu. Avinu Malkeinu, Avinu Malkeinu, Avinu Malkeinu, Chanenu Vanenu, Imanu Masim.
We turn back for those following in the Machzor to page 328. We give thanks today for a Torah of life, the way of kindness, mercy, and truth. May compassion be our source of sustenance now, as in our people's past. May our souls withstand times of crisis and our hearts to the inclination to evil. May the covenant of Abraham and Sarah strengthen our will to do what is right. May the qualities of mercy and goodness, love and forgiveness flow through our lives. And let us be strong in a perilous world. Let us open our hearts to the path of Torah.
Ki mitzion te Torah, ki mitzion te Torah, Udava Adonai Mirushalayim, Baruch Shenatan Torah, Torah, Baruch Shenatan Torah, Torah, Lamo Yisrael, Vikadushato. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Gadol Shemo. Al Shlosha Davarim, Al Shlosha Davarim, Al Shlosha Davarim, Haolam, Haolam, Omen. Al Shlosha Davarim, Al Shlosha Davarim, Al Shlosha Davarim, Haolam, Haolam, Omen. Al HaTorah, Al HaDova, Al Gemalud Chasadim, Al HaTorah, Al HaAvodah, Al Gemalud Chasadim, Al Shlosha Davarim, Al Shlosha Davarim, Al Shlosha Davarim, Haolam, Haolam, Omen. Al Shlosha Davarim, Al Shlosha Davarim, Al Shlosha Davarim, Haolam, Haolam, Omen.
You may be seated. Sometimes you never feel as small as when holding a giant Torah. Yesterday or this morning, I truly don't remember now, Rosh Hashanah, we used the little Torah, and the top of the Rimonim was next to my temple. And then yesterday or this morning, we used the medium Torah, and okay, so the Rimonim were a little bit. And today, with our giant Torah, the Rimonim are like 1.5 feet above me. And this is why we should weightlift. It's beautiful. I love this Torah. We only bring it out once a year, though. This is the only service in which we bring this Torah out, and it is so special, and it's so heavy. So before I bring our Aliyah up, I do want to say just a quick note. We see that we have 3 Torot, and how blessed we are for such a congregation our size to have 3 Torot. And it is our obligation to read from every Torah every year, no matter how heavy it is. And so we sort of just lovingly give this one, this honor of Kedoshim, this holiness portion. And I couldn't see a better fitting for this Torah to be used for this Yom Kippur afternoon service, where it says every one of us is holy. Samud Miriam Rachel bat Abraham ve'idit le'aliyah le'Torah.
Baruch Hu et Adonai Hambarach.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hambarach leolam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. So this is coming from Leviticus 19. If you're in the Machzor, 338, but don't let that one fool you because we're going to be skipping a few verses. Amen. Vaydaber Adonai el Moshe lemor. Daber el kol adat b'nei Yisrael. V'yamarta alehem. Kedoshim tihiyu. Ki kadosh ani Adonai Elohechem. Ish imo ve'aviv tira'u. Et shabtotai tishmeru. Ani Adonai Elohechem. Al tifnu el halelim ve'lohem asacha. Lo ta'asu lachem. Ani Adonai Elohechem. The magic, there we go. So that's way easier to move it there than it is here. Uvkutz rechem et katsir atzechem, lo telache pa'at sadcha lekirtza, lekatsir, velechet katsircha, lo telachet, vecharmecha, lo teolel uferet karmecha, lo telaket, la ani velager ha'an. Toda. Ta'azov otam ani Adonai Elohechem. Lo tignovu velo chachashu velo tishkeru ish ba'amito velo tishv'u vishmi lashaker v'chilalta et shem Elohecha ani Adonai.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Thank you, Marlene. And hopefully we're able to read the translation as it was up there. This beautiful portion that you shall be holy. And boy, it's rough reading the Torah in the afternoon of Yom Kippur where all the letters just kind of look the same. And my eyes are going, I can't focus. So thank you for the assistance. It's so nice to have such a good community. We have our Torah in our midst, though. And with our Torah here, we want to say a prayer using its strength, the weight of Torah, to give weight and support to those that are in need of healing. If there's someone that you are thinking of that is in need of healing, I invite you to say their name at this time. For those named aloud and the names we hold in our hearts, we first say this prayer and then we'll sing for them. May the Eternal One who blesses all life bless and strengthen all of us who struggle against illness. May we whose lives are touched by illness be blessed with faith, courage, love, and caring. May we experience the support and sustenance of family, friends, companions, and community. May we be granted restful nights and days of comfort. We pray for refuah shlema, precious moments of healing, and a sense of wholeness in body and soul. May those who care for the sick, with their hands, their voices, and their hearts, be blessed with courage and stamina. May those who pursue healing through medical skill and knowledge be blessed with insight, patience, and compassion. May all of us, the sick and the well together, find courage and hope. And let us say, Amen. I think we still need to sing this prayer, if that's okay. The Misha Berach prayer. I'm feeling the need that our hearts are still a little bit in need of this. I am apologizing to Timothy because I didn't tell him that until, 5 seconds ago.
1 second.
Yeah.
A major.
Misheberach avotenu, makor habracha lemotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Misheberach imotenu, makor habracha lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of the body, the renewal of the spirit, and let us say, Amen.
May those in need of healing find it in a time near to us. We talk about the cosmos and the beauty and the universe and the scale. We don't need 4.5 billion years. We need tomorrow. We need today. We have the opportunity to redress our Torah, and when we do so, we rise.
Zot HaTorah asher sam Moshe lifnei bnei Yisrael al pi Adonai v'yad Moshe al shlosha davarim, al shlosha davarim, al shlosha davarim haolam omed, al shlosha davarim, al shlosha davarim, al shlosha davarim haolam omed. על התורה, על העבודה, על גמלות חסדים. התורה, על העבודה, על גמלות חסדים. על שלושה דברים, על שלושה דברים, על שלושה דברים העולם עומד. על שלושה דברים, על שלושה דברים, על שלושה דברים העולם עומד. את חיים היא, למה חיים בה, ותומכיה ירושה, דרכיה נועם, וכל נתיבותיה שלום. השיבנו אדוני אליך ונשובה, כדי שמנו כקדם.
We may take our seats. I forgot to get rid of the Haftarah slide, my apology. Boy, isn't that fun? You know? Huh? It's hungry. No, that's just the rest of us, Natalie. Sorry. You know, we plan, and God laughs. Also, this is service number 9 for the High Holy Days, and I think it's like 1,400 slides, so I'm sorry that you're sort of seeing a couple of things that I missed. We'll move on from there. Said the Holy One, a focusing of our prayer. This is on 357. Said the Holy One to Israel, I asked you to pray in the synagogue of your city. But if you cannot pray in the synagogue, pray outdoors in an open field. And if you cannot pray in a field, pray in the shelter of your home. And if you cannot pray in your home, pray in the dark on your bed. And if you cannot pray on your bed, meditate in your heart without words. I know I invited you all to sit. That was just a teaser. Make sure your blood still flows correctly. We will again rise for Alena Leshebeach. If you have ever done the Great Aleinu, this is the time of day when it happens. I myself will not be doing that one today, but please feel free to participate if that is how you understand your prayer this year.
עלינו לשבח אדון הכל, עתיד כתוב לנו יוצא בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמענו בקול האדמה, שלא ואגננו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא, שהוא נוטה שמיים ובועט הארץ, כמו שהיה קרוב בשמיים ממעון, ושכינה וזו בכהן הרמים. הוא אלוהינו אין עוד, אמת דרכנו וסולתו, ככתוב בתורתו, ידעת היום בהשבות אל עמך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים, בשמיים ממעול, ועול הארץ, מתחרנות אין עוד. ונאמר, למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אלוהינו שמו אחד, ביום ההוא
We may take our seats. The Avodah at the ancient temple. For more than a millennium from the time of the Moses of Aaron until Rome's destruction of the Second Temple, the Day of Atonement was marked by rites of purification. Leviticus, specifically chapter 16, depicts Yom Kippur as a day when priests cleansed the sanctuary from all who defiled it. Later reimagined by sages who created the Mishnah, Yom Kippur became the day, Yomah, an annual purification from sin for the entire community of Israel. In Leviticus and in the Mishnah's tractates Yomah, the priest burned incense on fire pans, slaughter bulls and lambs as offerings to God, and send a goat into the wilderness to banish the people's sins. And the climax of the ritual is the high priest's entry into the Holy of Holies, the innermost chamber of the sanctuary, to pronounce aloud the name of God. When the temple fell, the sages ruled that atonement would no longer require sacrificial offerings, korbanot. Instead, God would respond to a sincere confession, a vidui, and prayers of forgiveness, slichot, accompanied by good deeds. As one prophet taught in the 8th century BCE, bring words with you and come back to the eternal. Say to God, forgive all guilt and accept the good. Our bulls will be the offerings of our lips. A midrash declares that in the absence of korbanot, God accepts our verbal recitation of avodah, a description of the ancient Yom Kippur ritual in the temple. The heart of the traditional avodah service is a poetic composition written in the land of Israel by Yossi ben Yossi from the 4th or 5th century Common Era. His poetry recounts the history of Israel from the 6 days of creation until the time of the temple. The priestly rites of atonement form the spiritual center of this history. Thus, with creation as his starting point, the poet weaves the holiness of Yom Kippur into the very fabric of the universe. 448. To make you sweet music, I weave psalm songs together. So deeply for you, my soul aches from desire. My heart's greatest wish is the gift of your shelter, to know, to embrace what your secrets inspire. When I speak the words to spell out your radiance, my verses of love to honor your name. I long to be near you. I yearn for your presence, your glory, your grandeur is mine to proclaim. Though I have not known you, about you I have written. Though I have not seen you, your splendor I praise. Your servants, the prophets, reveal what is hidden, your beauty evoked by their powerful gaze. With elegance and grace in prophecy and poem, we praise your compassion, the wonders you have done. The acts and the attributes by which you are known are far beyond counting, and yet you are one. There are 15 steps, 15 songs of ascent in the book of Psalms. To what do they correspond? Our sages used to teach 15 steps led up to the holy temple in Jerusalem. And on these steps, the Levites stood with trumpets and drums, an orchestra of holiness for the singers of David's psalms. But others say the exiles sang the 15 songs on their journey home. Step by step, they ascended from the rivers of Babylon to the land of Abraham and Sarah. Another view. The 15 psalms were songs the pilgrims chanted as they climbed the hills of Zion to celebrate sacred seasons with matzah, first fruits, and lulav etrog. Or perhaps these 15 songs are timeless, speaking to the innermost self, tracing the ascent to God of every soul. Our bodies dwell on earth. Our souls thirst for the living God. Like those who came before us, we too seek the holy dimension. Then and now, 15 steps mark the ascent, song and prayer, speech and silence. Through avodah, our act of sacred service, let us reach for the Holy One. I encourage you to think about what your 15 steps are. And I can't help but notice, totally drashing on this concept of 15. Creation is 7. 7 and 7 is 14. God's creation and our creation, 7 and 7 plus 1. Our coming together. The 15 steps, God on these 7 and us on these 7, and together us as one. Or perhaps if that's not your theology, you and the community together. You and someone else, whatever it is beyond ourselves. Reach up and reach higher, reach together. This sacredness of finding holiness. On page 509. Feel free to join in. In each human hand and heart is the power to renew life. to seek dignity where there is brokenness and defeat, to know and cherish the image of God in every human face, to open eyes that have closed in despair, to shelter the weak and shield the helpless, to give strength to the weary, hope and comfort to those who feel pain, to care for the earth like an old friend, to give to its oceans, rivers, and forests our selfless love, to treat ponds and tide pools, the sky and the mountain as sacred living beings. In each of us is the power to renew life. As we approach our Neilah, we have this opportunity to understand what it means to renew life, what that means for each of us. If you need to take, again, as I said earlier, if you need to take a moment or use the facilities or whatever you need to do for yourself, please feel free to do so. The long day is over. The gates are closing. Slowly, day fades into dusk. Soon the earth will darken. Our bodies weak and weary, our inner strength undiminished. This day has been a gift. Uncluttered time, free from hurry and routine, appointments or assignments. A time to face our sins and imperfections, our dreams and yearnings for the life we want to live. A time to leave the clamor of the world and attend to the voice within. Long ago, the temple gates were locked at dusk. So too, at this hour, the gates of Yom Kippur begin to close. Have we done all that needed to be done? Said everything that needed to be said? The gates of compassion never closes. But soon enough, our lives close in on us. Now in the silence of the soul, now before the holy day comes to an end, release the unshed tears, the deepest prayers locked in our hearts. Feel free to join in on 6:15. Our Creator, God of awe, God sublime, whose deeds are true, have compassion, grant us pardon as we enter Neilah. Small in number we are called, we who lift our eyes to seek you, and with trembling hearts beseech you in this hour of Neilah. For you are our very life pours forth. Free us of falsehood, rid us of sin. Fount of forgiveness, show us your mercy as we enter Neilah. Be our true and faithful shelter. Embrace us in grief, console us in pain, seal us for honor, contentment, and joy. And this hour of Neilah, with grace and compassion, oppose the oppressors, bring judgment to foes, oust the ones who war against us. As we enter Neilah, recall our mothers, remember our fathers, renew their righteousness in our days. Be near to us as you were to them in this hour of Neilah. Proclaim for us a year of favor. Restore the unity to your flock. Return this remnant to its glory as we enter Neilah. Daughters and sons, be worthy of your years. May they be many and filled with joy. Bless us, Avinu. Bless us with gladness in this hour of Neilah. In this hour of Neilah, as day fades into dusk, we hear another voice. It says, Ata noten yad lefoshim. V'mincha v'shutza lechabel shavim. Hold out your hand to those who do wrong. Your right hand opens wide to receive those who return. The gates of your forgiveness are open wide. They that are slaves, that each tendon's a rope and the knuckles are pulleys, that their white bones line up like pieces of broken chalk. They are bound by flesh as leather around a Bible. They that dance and write in the air their story of what is lost, what is gained, that they are soldiers cut and bleeding, a link to the heart's kingdom, that they are so beautiful, a moon has landed on each finger, that they are trained for harps and hired for murder, that the cuticles are shaped like soft horseshoes and they contain rivers, that the ring finger shyness suffers when gripped by the powerful, that the palm yields to blisters and wears the calloused rags of repetition, that they are mythical with their lifelines, hieroglyphics, that they struggle because of their strength. They are able to heal themselves, that they know what it means to draw the water and work without pay, that they will hide our eyes and pray for our sins, that they may lift the hammer and lead our bodies to grace, that they will make a prince like no other until they wave goodbye. 6:20. Yitkada v'yitkada shemei Rabbah, B'alma divrach yirutei v'yamlich malchutei, B'chayechon uv'yomechon, U'chayedecho beit Yisrael, Bagala, Uvizman kariv, Veimeru, Yehi shmei Rabba mevach, Le'alam ulal me'al maya. Yitzbarach v'yishtabach, v'yitzba'ar v'yitzromam v'yitznasei, v'yitantai v'yitalei v'yitalal, shemei de kodesha brichu, le'elan ul'ela min kol b'chatza v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, damiran be'alma ve'imeru. It is written, listen to my words, God. Understand my meditation. The meaning of the verse is the Holy One. When I have the strength to stand before you in prayer and express my words, listen to me. But when I do not have the strength, understand what is in my heart. We rise for our final Amidah.
Adonai sympathai tiftak uvia gita hilatecha. Adonai, open my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah. Ha'el ha'gidol ha'gibor ha'nora, El Elyon, Gomel chasadim tovim, Ochonei ha'chol, Ochokei chastei avot v'imachot, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה. זוכרנו לחיים, מלכבד בחיים, ולכותבנו בספר החיים, למען האלוהים חיים. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני מקרקע הכל, אתה רב להושיע, מקלקל חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, זומך נופלים וחופי חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומחיים ומונתו נשנה עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומדרום אלך, מלך מתמיד ומחיה, ומטמיע ישועה. מי כמוך אל הרחמים, זוכר יצוריו, לחיים ברשמים, לחיים ברחמים. ונעמה נטל החיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני מקיים הכל.
It is traditional to stay standing for the entirety of the Neilah service. If that is your custom, you're welcome to do so. If that is not your custom, and your body says no thank you, you're welcome to be seated at this time. Shmana, Salachna Hayom, Avur Ki Fanav Yom. Hear us this day. Forgive us, we pray, for the day begins to fade. Your holiness awakens deepest awe. Your praise shall be our song. Our sovereign God of pardon and forgiveness, let these words of sanctity ascend to you. Pitchulanu sha'arei tzedek, navavamnu deyah. Open the gates of righteousness for us. Open the gates that we may enter and praise the eternal together. Open the gates for us, for all Israel, for people everywhere. The gates of acceptance and atonement, beauty and creativity. The gates of dignity, empathy, and faith. The gates of generosity and hope, insight and joy. The gates of knowledge and love, meaning and nobility. The gates of openness, patience, and the quest for peace. The gates of renewal, song, and tranquility. The gates of understanding and virtue. The gates of wisdom and wonder, exaltation, youth, and old age. The gates of Zion, reborn and rebuilt in our time. Open the gates, open them wide. Show us the way to enter. וחותמנו בספר החיים לברכה ולקדושה. כי אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, ושעריך בקדושה נכנס. Seal us for holiness and blessing in the book of life. For you are holy, your name is holy, and we yearn to enter your gates in holiness. On 631. For you hold out your hand to those who do wrong. Your right hand opens wide to receive those who return. Stay, I said, to the cut flowers. They bowed their heads lower. Stay, I said to the spider who fled. Stay, leaf. It reddened, embarrassed for me and itself. Stay, I said to my body. It sat as a dog does, obedient for a moment, soon starting to tremble. Stay to the earth of riverine valley meadows, of fossil escarpments, of limestone and sandstone. It looked back with a changing expression in silence. Stay, I said to my loves, and each answered, always. Gates of heaven, gates of wisdom's palace, open them now to the people who seek life's meaning in Torah. Gates of mystery, gates of hidden truth, open them now for those who hold fast and refuse to give up. Gates of splendor, gates of beauty, open them now to your faithful congregation. Gates of your presence, of vision of glory, open them now to the red-eyed and weary from fasting and prayer. Gates of purity, gates of radiance, open them now to the people who glow with inner light. Gates of sovereignty, gates of strength, open them now to the people you have never abandoned. On 635. O Holy One, I hear and say so many words, yet yours is the word I need. Speak now and help me listen. And if I hear what I hear is silence, let it quiet me. Let it disturb me. Let it touch my need. Let it break my pride. Let it shrink my certainties. Let it enlarge my wonder. ותיתן לנו אדוני אלוהינו באהבה עד יום הכיפורים הזה. In your love, eternal our God, you have given us this Yom Kippur, a day on which our wrongs are forgiven with love, a day of sacred assembly, a day to be mindful of your people's going out from Egypt. Zochrenu Adonai Eloheinu bo l'tova, uvochzenu vo livracha, v'hoshienu vo l'chayim. Together, favor us with words of deliverance and mercy. Show us the depth of your care. God, we await your redemption, for you reign with grace and compassion. 639. Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu. Together, our God and God of all generations, on this great Sabbath of forgiveness, forgive our moral failings. On this great Sabbath of goodness, teach us to be satisfied with your goodness. On this great Sabbath of atonement, purify our hearts to serve you in truth. Blessed are you, Adonai. Year after year, you set us on the path from guilt to holiness. Our God and God of all generations, let us feel your nearness. Let us know your love. God of goodness, mercy, and hope, we are grateful for your gifts of love and compassion. Seal us today for a life of integrity, lived in covenant with you. God of peace, grant us peace, your most precious gift. You have given us freedom to choose between good and evil, life and death. May we choose life and good. that our children may inherit from us the blessing of peace. May we and the whole family of Israel be remembered and sealed in the book of life. Blessed is forgiveness, and blessed are goodness, mercy, and love. Blessed is the nearness of divine presence, and blessed is the hope for peace. Baruch atah Adonai, Oseh HaShalom. You are the blessed one, the eternal one, source of peace. We'll move to 644. Adonai, Adonai.
Adonai, Adonai, El Rachum v'Chanun, El Rachum v'Chanun, Erech Apayim, v'Rav Chesed, v'Emet. Note chesed l'alafim, note chesed l'alafim, nose avon v'fesha v'chatan avanake. Adonai, Adonai, El Rachum v'Chanun, Erech Apayim, v'Rak Chesed, v'Emet.
645. Together. So many words, they echo in my head. I'm emptied out with no more strength to speak. Just my life breath, just my heart, just these broken shards of ancient prayer. They say the shofar's broken cry will reach you, you, the rock of my heart, my portion forever. Slach la, slach na, la'avon ha'am hazeh, kegodel chesdecha. Moses prayed to God, as you have been faithful to this people ever since Egypt, please forgive their failings now in keeping with your boundless love.
Adonai, Adonai, El Rachum v'Chanun, El Rachum v'Chanun, Erech Apayim, v'Rak Chesed, v'Emet. Note chesed l'alafim, note chesed l'alafim, nose avon v'fesha v'chata Adonai, Adonai, El Rachum v'Chanun, Erech Apayim, v'Rak Chesed, v'Emet.
Vayomer Adonai, salachti kidveracha. And God responded, I forgive as you have asked. together. Forgive us, Avinu, for we have strayed. Pardon us, Malkeinu, for succumbing to sin. You are generous in granting forgiveness, all loving to those who reach out to you. Adonai, Adonai, God, compassionate, gracious, endlessly patient, loving and true, show mercy to the 1,000th generation, forgiving evil, defiance, and wrongdoing, granting pardon. Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu v'yemotenu, salachna, mechalanu, kaperlanu, our God and God of our fathers and our mothers, forgive us, pardon us, lead us to atonement. How do we offer the Neilah confession? With honesty and humility. We join together in 652. We are insolent, but you are compassionate and gracious. We are stubborn and stiff-necked, but you are slow to anger. We persist in doing wrong, but you are the essence of mercy. Our days are a shadow passing by, but you are existence itself, your years never ending. Our God and God of all generations, may our prayers reach your presence. And when we turn to you, do not be indifferent. Adonai, we are arrogant and stubborn, claiming to be blameless and free of sin. In truth, we have stumbled and strayed. We have done wrong. Of these things we are guilty. We continue in Hebrew. Ay, 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 ay. Hashamnu, Bagadnu, Gazalnu, Dibanu, Dofi. Ay, 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 ay. Avinu v'yirshanu, zadnu chamasnu, tapanu sheker. Ay, 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 ay. Yatsnu ra, kizavnu, latsnu, mabranu, niatsnu, saranu, havinu, pashanu, zaranu, kishinu, orav. Ay, 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 ay. Rashanu, Shidratnu, Tiavnu, Tahinu, Titanu. Ay, 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 ay. Atanoten yalafoshim. You who hold out your hand to those who do wrong. Your right hand opens wide to receive those who return. You teach us the true purpose of confession, to turn our hands into instruments of good, to cause no harm or oppression. Receive us as you promised in the fullness of our hearts to Shuvah. You show us many paths to forgiveness, countless ways to make our lives count. For you know that in the end, we will return to the dust of the earth. What are we? What is our life? What is the breadth of our goodness, the depth of our righteousness, the true measure of our achievements and success? What use is our power? What good is our strength? What can we say to you, eternal our God? God of generations, in your presence, there are no heroes, and great reputations dissolve. The wise appear unlearned, and the discerning look foolish, for all our deeds amount to futility, and the days of our lives emptiness. We human beings are no better than beasts. All is vanity. And yet, from the beginning you set us apart. We stand before you, uplifted by your unique awareness of humanity. We take now a few moments for the prayers that have gone left unsaid. On page 662, let's do 659. I was getting ahead of myself. We have aspired to reach higher. We have befriended those in need. We have created works of beauty. We have delighted in holy books. We have embraced our dear ones and held them close. We have fought for justice. We have given of ourselves. We have honored your mitzvot. We have immersed ourselves in prayer. We have joined hands to build community. We have kept our word with integrity. We have loved faithfully and well. We have moved toward the light. We have nourished and supported. We have opened ourselves to hope. We have pursued the good. We have quieted our anger. We have remembered those who came before. We have sought meaning in Torah. We have trusted and been trustworthy. We have uttered words of beauty. We have vigorously struggled to do right. We have wept over our shortcomings. We have exchanged blame for compassion. We have yearned to make life better. We have zestfully rejoiced. We need more words in English that start with Z. We have zealous and zest, and that's about it. We need more Z words for our alphabet, our litanies. We do this. We have these entire litanies, an alphabet of woe, as we say, and an alphabet here at the end of the day, at the closing of our gates, and say, no, look at all the good we have done, zestfully rejoicing. I don't know any other time we use the word zestfully. we have one more opportunity to go through Avinu Malkeinu. We have sung it so very many times, and I have said before with so many other prayers, it's important to know what they are saying. So we'll join together in the English. Page 662 if you're in a book. Avinu Malkeinu, almighty and merciful, welcome our prayer with love, accept and embrace it. Avinu Malkeinu, act for the sake of your boundless compassion. Avinu Malkeinu, act toward us as befits your name. Avinu Malkeinu, seal us in the book of sustenance and livelihood. Avinu Malkeinu, seal us in the book of worthiness and merit. Avinu Malkeinu, seal us in the book of forgiveness and pardon. Avinu Malkeinu, seal us in the book of lives well lived. Avinu Malkeinu, seal us in the book of redemption and renewal. Avinu Malkeinu, let our hands overflow with your blessings. Avinu Malkeinu, let the gates of heaven be open to our prayer. Avinu Malkeinu, renew us for a year of goodness. Avinu Malkeinu, we have no sovereign but you. Avinu Malkeinu, almighty and merciful, answer us with grace when our deeds are wanting. Save us through acts of justice and love.
Avinu Malkeinu, Avinu Malkeinu, Avinu Malkeinu, Chaynenu Vanenu, Gin Banu Masim, Aseh Imanu, Tzedaka v'Chesed, Aseh Imanu, Tzedaka v'Chesed, v'Hoshienu. Aseh Imanu, Tzedaka v'Chesed. Aseh Imanu, Tzedaka v'Chesed, v'Hoshienu. Avinu Malkeinu, Avinu Malkeinu, Avinu Malkeinu, Chanenu Vanenu, Gin Banu Masim.
To live life in all its fullness is to stand in awe before an open gate, to gaze into a doorway of hope, a wondrous portal of possibilities. Many are the gates of our lives, many the treasures toward which they lead. And how many close behind us, lost, forgotten, and sealed forever? How many gates? How many years? Standing in awe before the gates of the new year, we see its most precious gift, the minutes and the hours, the days and the weeks, the treasure house of time. Every moment is a vessel of infinite holiness. Every morning, noon, and night is a gateway to life's immensity. How will we use this precious gift? Yitgadal v'yitgada shemei rabbah, ba'alma divrach rute v'amlich malchute, b'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chaye dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala uv'izman kari v'imru. Amen. Yehi shmei rabbah mevarach le'olam alomei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitba'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal shemei dekudusha brichu. La'ela ul'ela min kol bechata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechamata, za amiran be'alma v'imru. Amen. תתקבל תחצון ובכון דכל ישראל קודם ובכון די וישמע ואמרו אמן. יהי שלום רב מן שמיה וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו ויעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו ועל כל יושבי תבל ואמרו amen. Again, feel free to take care of your bodies. If you stand, you stand. If you sit, you need to sit. However you need to take care of yourself, please do so. So even though the words say we stand this day, you can be standing in other ways other than on your feet. We stand as one before the gates of a new year, renewed by this day of atonement, made stronger by all who are with us and by those whose presence we feel within. As the long day fades into dusk, we join our voices in words of hope and dedication. Open for us the gates of righteousness, that we may enter and praise the source of life. Open for us the gates of sacred community. We can do these together. That we may enter and feel its healing power. Open for us the gates of truth and integrity, that we may enter and grow in faithfulness. Open for us the gates of devotion and principle, that we may enter and find enduring values and meaning. Open for us the gates of repentance and return, that we may enter and offer our best. Open for us the gates of forgiveness, that we may enter and offer our humanity. Open for us the gates of kindness and compassion, that we may enter and offer our love. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Feel free to join in. Baruch Shem Kavod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed. Baruch Shem Kavod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed. Baruch Shem Kavod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed. Adonai Hu Ha-Elohim. 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 One second. Natalie just said she's special. She can sound the shofar through her mask. For those that weren't here on Rosh Hashanah, I feel this needs like this much explanation before we do the Tekiah Gedolah. So an explanation before we do that real quick. We are trying so hard to keep this plague away. So hard. And so putting our breath through an instrument that then spreads it out does not seem the most responsible of things to do. And so we have a recording because it is our mitzvah to hear it, not to play it, and certainly not to spread germs. So Natalie is going to lip shofar in just a moment. For this, if you have the strength, feel free to rise. Tekiah Gedolah. And with that, we can say, L'Shana Haba'ah B'Yerushalayim. Next year in Jerusalem. Our service concludes, however, with Havdalah. This separation, we have spent, well, some of us have spent about 10 hours together in these last 24. And this separation is so necessary. It helps us transition. It helps us move from this really intimate prayer and this intimate space of what we have been through, standing and holding and being with community, well, into the world, back into the place when we say Natan Yad, our hands. Guess what? We're going to go out into the world, and what are we supposed to do with our hands? Our righteous deeds. The gates of righteousness never close. So we'll continue. Our final piece, Havdalah. Here too, please feel free to take care of your bodies.
Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen borei peri hagafen. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei minei v'sayim borei minei v'samim. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei ha'esh borei ha'esh. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam amadil ben kodesh lakol amadil ben kodesh lakol. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Eliyahu hanavi, Eliyahu hatishbi, Eliyahu, Eliyahu, Eliyahu kadi, Imran Elinu, Yavo Elenu, Imashiach ben David, Imashiach ben David, Eliyahu hanavi, Eliyahu hatishbi, Eliyahu, Eliyahu, Eliyahu kaladi.
Shana Tova, everyone. May it be a beautiful year. And please take a bottle of water and trail mix. It's on the back wall, back table. Please take one courtesy of sisterhood. May it be a beautiful year for you all.
Thank you very much.